Hi, we're going to take some time to review the RACE writing strategy we've used in class so far. RACE is an acronym, and it's a way of understanding how we create a constructed response in an organized and well thought out process. A paragraph is generally 4 to 6 sentences in length when you use the RACE writing strategy. And just like any historian, you need to back up your claims, the statements you're making, using evidence and an explanation of how your evidence and claim proves you're right. This isn't something you're just going to use in social studies. You can use this technique in English or any class where you're going to have to be doing writing. You are going in your assignment today to have 3 sections, and there will be 3 videos. This first video is going to focus on restating the question and answering the question. Afterwards, you will complete that portion of the assignment. The next question will have a video accompanying it about citing a source, and the third question will talk about explaining the source. So let's go over an example we've done before. And this is about restating your question. A question could be, what are some ways students can help to stop bullying in their school? And the first thing you need to do in order to rephrase that into an answer is to find the key words or phrases that we're going to include in our answer. Words like to and in and are not important. Major movement verbs, major nouns, those are the things we want to look for. And so when I look at these words and I'm beginning to restate a question, I can simply convert that question into students can stop bullying in school by, and then continue on with my answer. Let's talk about the answer for a moment. So we've got the first part of our statement. In order to answer, I first want to look at all my evidence. In our unit for the Revolutionary War, you want to look at things like the Boston Massacre, Boston Tea Party, the different acts and laws, the taxes, maybe some of the land restrictions that have occurred. What are you going to focus on? Are you going to focus on one of those? And this is what you're going to include to finish your answer. You want to organize and select those items that match what you want to talk about. So if you want to focus on land items, it makes no sense to then talk about the Boston Massacre. In a couple of words, you're going to finish this sentence that you started to write, restating the question, and you're going to give a summary of what you're going to talk about with no facts. Let's look at it this way. What are some ways students can help to stop bullying in their school? And you can go about this a couple of ways. Again, once we find the areas that we want to focus on for restating, there are several steps students can take to stop bullying in school. That could be a restatement. Or stop bullying in our schools require that that could be your restating. And students can stop bullying in school by, that's how we might start to open our paragraph with that opening sentence. But we still need to provide an answer. So let's go back to this. There are several steps students can take to stop bullying that requires teaching tolerance and empathy. I haven't given anything beyond tolerance and empathy. I'm just saying in general, that could be a technique. Stopping bullying in our schools require that we hold students and staff accountable. So accountability is what I want to focus on, and all my evidence better be about that. Students can stop bullying in school by involving counseling supports. Another example that we did during our first unit was, in which ways does Deborah Sampson show bravery? If you recall, she is the woman that decided to pretend to be a man and serve in the Continental Army. First thing I want to do is I want to find those key phrases I had better include when I restate the question. Obviously, the focus of the answer is going to be Deborah Sampson. Well, what's the verb? Showing bravery. And so those are the 4 words I want to include in my potential restatement. Deborah Sampson shows bravery in her. I've already started the restating process. But I still can go about it other ways. Deborah Sampson's bravery was demonstrated with, it's saying the same thing, it's just a different way of saying it. Deborah Sampson shows bravery with her is again the way you can go. And in 3 to 4 words, let's talk about summarizing. So, Deborah Sampson shows bravery in her willingness to fight and risk her own life. I have not given any information beyond her risking her life. And all my evidence is going to talk about that. Or, Deborah Sampson's bravery was demonstrated with her military service to America. I'm not going to talk about anything other than her joining the Army and serving in the Army. Or, Deborah Sampson shows bravery with her desire to serve others. And maybe the evidence that I choose have to focus on that. This is, of course, leading up to the first part of your assignment today. We're going to create an answer by restating the question. What are the reasons why the colonies broke away from England? You want to pick those important words, those major points, verbs and nouns that I absolutely have to include. We spent a lot of time on this in class. Go through the facts in your study guide, in your notes, in your assignments. Let's organize it. Find 2 or 3 facts that we can talk about that all fall under one topic. If you had to summarize, for example, the Boston Massacre and the Intolerable Acts, what would be the word or words that you would do for that? Or the Tea Act and the Stamp Act. How would that have upset the colonists? Again, in just a couple of words. Be very mindful about how you're writing this.